Welcome everyone to the Museum and Galleries Homeschool Days online art class. My name is Katrina Jackson and this is my family, my husband Terry and my daughter Gracie. I'll be your teacher today. Today we are going to learn about Vincent van Gogh. We will learn about his life, how he became an artist, what inspired him as an artist, and what made his work so special. Once the video portion of this lesson is over, I invite you to follow our tutorial on creating our Vincent van Gogh inspired landscape. We have lots to learn and a fun project, so let's get started. Vincent van Gogh was born March 30th, 1853 in Amsterdam. His father was a country minister and his mother was an amateur watercolor painter. He had 3 sisters and 2 brothers. He was very close to his brother Theo. While we don't know much about his childhood, we do know that at the age of 15, Vincent had to quit school and find a job in order to help his family. He got a job working for an uncle who sold art. This was an amazing place for Vincent to work as he was surrounded by great works of art. Eventually, Vincent was transferred to a gallery in London and worked there for a while. Between the ages of 20 and 23, Vincent began focusing more on God and less on his work at the gallery. At the age of 25, he decided he wanted to become a minister, just like his father. Vincent van Gogh volunteered as a minister to a poor mining community in Belgium. While there, he drew pictures of the people as they worked. In a letter to his brother Theo, he described the mining community. It's a somber place, and at first sight, everything around it has something dismal and deathly about it. Even though this was a dismal place, it was the exact place that Vincent van Gogh wanted to be. These were the people he wanted to help. He wanted to teach them about God and about love and kindness, and Vincent did just that. Van Gogh gave these people everything he had, including his clothing and his bed. The church committee that ran the mission, however, were not too happy with Van Gogh's methods and therefore fired him. Van Gogh became very discouraged. Even so, Van Gogh continued writing Theo letters. In these letters, he would include drawings of peasants, churches, and landscapes. After seeing his brother's drawings, Theo encouraged Vincent to become an artist despite his inexperience. Vincent discovered happiness in creating art and ended up devoting so much time to painting that he couldn't hold a paying job. Theo supported him financially, and Vincent continued to improve until he eventually completed his first masterpiece, The Potato Eaters. This is a painting of a peasant family sitting down to a simple meal of potatoes. Painted with their bony fingers to show they are poor yet hardworking, notice the colors, much like the dusty potatoes they grow and eat. This is what Van Gogh said about these people. These folk have tilled the earth themselves. With these hands they are putting in the dish. And so it speaks of manual labor, that they honestly earn their food. Van Gogh wanted to show these poor people with respect and honor. Eventually, Van Gogh moved to Paris where his brother Theo lived. It was in Paris that he met the Impressionists. The Impressionists were exploring new ways of creating art, ways that allowed them to capture fleeting moments of the world around them. Van Gogh admired their work and began to study and practice their techniques. We see their influence in his art. His paintings went from being dark to very bright. He also adopted a similar loose brushstroke, and he loved to paint outside. Although he admired Impressionism, he felt it was lacking in something. So he took the Impressionistic style, added his emotions and bold, unrealistic colors to it, creating his own unique style, which later became known as Post-Impressionism. In the painting The Sower, Van Gogh uses color to express emotions. The colors he uses are not the ones found in nature. Notice the blazing golden sunset and the blue farmhouse in the background. The field in the foreground the farmer is sowing seed in is painted a mixture of blue, brown, and white. It is important to remember Van Gogh is not trying to paint the farmer in his field exactly as he sees it. Instead, he is choosing to paint it with colors that express the way he is feeling at that very moment as he paints the scene. Starry Night is one of Van Gogh's most famous paintings. Notice all the different types of lines used in this painting. There are waves, swirls, and dashes. The line became an important tool Van Gogh used to express feelings in his paintings. The lines in Starry Night create the movement of the rolling hills, the flickering branches of the cypress tree, and the spectacular whirly swirliness of the night sky. The only thing not moving
is the sleepy village below. Listen to what Van Gogh wrote about the night sky that inspired this painting. This morning, I saw the countryside from my window a long time before sunrise, with nothing but the morning star, which looked very big. Van Gogh used another technique called impasto. Impasto is thickly laid on paint. This very thick paint added a special texture to his paintings, creating an almost three-dimensional surface. Look at the close-ups of wheat field with cypress. Can you see how thick the paint is? Can you see the actual texture created by this very thick paint? Impasto is just another way Van Gogh found to add more emotion to his paintings. While in Paris, Vincent van Gogh discovered another source of inspiration, Japanese woodblock prints. Vincent liked the art form so much he began his own collection, and it is said that he collected over 600 of these Japanese prints. We can see how the Japanese artist influenced Van Gogh in his art. They used bold outlines, simple shapes, and flat colors, yet they were able to keep all the beauty of the flowers and birds as seen in the prints. Van Gogh said, "All my work is based on some extent on Japanese art." Notice how Van Gogh begins to use the same bold outlines, simple shapes, and flat colors in his work as seen in the Japanese prints.
Van Gogh eventually tired of city life, so he packed up his bags and he moved to the countryside, just south of Paris. He rented 4 rooms and a little yellow house. Van Gogh wrote a letter to Theo describing his yellow house. "My house here is painted the yellow color of fresh butter on the outside with glaringly green shutters. It stands in the full sunlight in a square which has a green garden with plane trees, and over it the intensely blue sky. In this I can live and breathe, meditate, and paint."
Van Gogh continued to paint the things that were around him, such as his bedroom, irises, farms, trees, fields, and portraits of his friends, like the lady who ran the local cafe Van Gogh often ate at, the postman, and even his doctor. But when his friends weren't available, he painted himself. Van Gogh painted himself 36 times, and in each painting he's more concerned with trying to paint how he felt than how he actually looked. You may want to pause the video and take a closer look at his self-portraits. We've included all 36. See if you can identify how Van Gogh felt in some of the paintings. Remember, don't just look at his expression, but look at the colors and the lines as well in order to help you decide if he's happy or sad. Van Gogh never became famous during his lifetime. As a matter of fact, he only sold one painting, this one, titled The Red Vineyard. Before his death, no one really liked his paintings, not even his mother. After Van Gogh died, she threw away all the paintings that he had given her. Only Theo, Van Gogh's brother, and his wife, Jo, saw the beauty in Van Gogh's work and saved as many paintings as they could. It wasn't until sometime after Van Gogh's death that his artwork became famous. So you may be asking yourself, why exactly is Van Gogh so famous today? Well, it's mostly because he didn't simply paint what he saw. He painted how he felt, and that is what made him unique or special. He also became an inspiration to other artists to explore ways they could express their emotions in their artwork as well. And today, Van Gogh's paintings are some of the most recognized works of art around the world. Whenever you see one of Van Gogh's paintings, just remember, Van Gogh is not telling you exactly how he saw it, but how he felt.